Hello, Gemini. Welcome. And it's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot. And this is going to be your monthly reading for June. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid. This message could play out at any point in time throughout the month of June. This message may or may not be for you. So I do ask that you only take the messages that resonate and leave behind the rest. And so this month I was guided to use the Starseed Oracle deck along with the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. And so let's jump right in, Gemini, and see what messages need to come through for you. So keep in mind, like I said, this could be for any major Gemini placements: Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. And so I could be talking to a Gemini who's been in a period of isolation. They're showing me the Hermit card. And so maybe you've been lacking some physical connection in your life. Maybe it's time to put yourself back out there and reconnect with the community. Because I do think you've been bringing something into the light that's kind of been hidden in the unconscious mind. 111. Gemini is the magician energy. And so I do feel you're seeding the light when it comes to these new earth timelines. And so how can you tap into your highest potential, Gemini? I feel you've been in this vortex of going into solitude in order to reconnect with your higher self. And so if you've been feeling all alone, you're not alone. There's a slew of support all around you, Gemini. And I think you're finally starting to see the potential when it comes to all of this unconsciousness being brought into the forefront. So we're going to see what else needs to come through for you, Gemini. I know we've got some big energies coming through in the month of June. We have Neptune going retrograde in Pisces. We also have Saturn going retrograde in Pisces. And so I'm not sure where this card come from, but it was facing upright. And so this is Aquarian energy coming through. So you might want to pay attention to where Aquarius is falling in your housing side of the chart. But this is about finding your courage and your strength to kind of break through the fog and to step into your authentic, unique nature. How can you let yourself be seen, Gemini? So that kind of resonates with the Hermit energy. Maybe it's time to come out of hiding. Maybe it's time to come out of the spiritual closet and let yourself be seen. There's some type of severing going on. And so Mars energy. We did just have Mars enter into Leo. It's going to be here for a majority of the month of June. And so you might want to watch your anchor. You might be bumping into some type of conflict when it comes to severing a karmic connection here. And so I do feel there's going to be some challenges, Gemini. There's going to be some challenges, some conflict, and some aggressive energy coming through in order to get you to soften to love. And so what is needing to leave your life? I do feel a severing of a connection because somebody here has been called. I think you've been called to step it up a notch when it comes to your spiritual gifts and this esoteric training this lifetime. And so you're walking through a doorway portal. But there is something that needs to leave your life in order to step into this calling. And so how can you nurture yourself? This is about tending to your own garden. And so this is about self-care, self-nourishment, tenderness, rest. You might be going through a period of upheaval and you're going to need time to rest and recalibrate. I do feel, Gemini, sometimes we can want to micromanage the universe. And so I do feel maybe free will has gotten you this far, but now divine will is kind of stepping in and superseding because we can't keep micromanaging the universe. And so if you've been feeling all alone, it's because you've been going through some type of transition. And if things have been a little unclear, I do feel severing of a connection is going to bring some clarity. I do feel a heart awakening, softening to love. And so you're likely going through some type of activation when it comes to your spiritual gifts, and it is time to step up. Oh my goodness, we get the wheel reversed with the strength reversed, and that is exactly micromanaging the universe. So Leo, we're not in control, not in the least. And so Leo energy too with the Mars. And so There's likely going to be a tower or an event or a shakeup because somebody has been making choices, I feel, out of their ego. And this has created a lack of flow. And so the flow in reverse, the wheel in reverse, there's resistance to closing out a cycle. And maybe this is why this tower is coming in order to get you to sever something that's no longer working for you. Maybe it's with a Leo. I'm not sure, Gemini, but I do feel there's been resistance, and what we resist will persist. And so there's a lack of flow. There's a lack of movement. Everything is feeling a little bit stuck, a little bit gunked up. There's likely delays and challenges when it comes to a new cycle because somebody is trying to control a situation here. So we're going to see what else needs to come through with the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. Yeah, and so when we try to control and micromanage, we're basically in the energy of manipulation. And so there's a lack of magic. There's a lack of manifestation in your life. I do feel there's a need to address some self-sabotaging behaviors as well when it's coming to trying to control a situation. Yeah, there's going to be an unexpected shakeup, an unexpected tower. You could be dealing with a master manipulator. You could be dealing with a pathological liar here. This is Gemini, Virgo energy. Maybe you've been lying to yourself about a situation that you really need to get honest about, because this is a tower coming in. You're going to have to rebuild from ground zero, Gemini. You might have avoided this transformation up until now, but you can no longer avoid it. This is definitely stemming around some heart energy. And Mars is the lower octave of the tower energy, right? And so there's going to be a tower. There's going to be a shakeup, unavoidable change. This is likely going to be a shift in your beliefs as well. And you are going to have to rebuild from ground zero. So somebody has been awakening. This is about stepping into your calling. Yeah, there's a lack of joy. There's a lack of stability. There's a lack of unity with the Four of Wands in reverse. And so there's likely a foundation crumbling to the ground because it was never built on something sustainable to begin with. And so this is the zeroing out energy in the month of June for you, Gemini. So we're going to see what else needs to come through for Gemini. We'll see what this great severing is all about. So if you don't choose to make these changes, the tower is going to come in and kind of force you to get moving in a new direction. So we're going to see what we got here, Gemini. We got the Balance card, or the Two of Pentacles in reversed, anchored down by the Lovers in reversed. Well, if that ain't a severing, I'm not sure what is. That is also Gemini energy. We get the Strength card upright, anchored down by the Fool reversed. And so there is a lack of trust when it comes to a new beginning. We get the Nine of Wands in reversed, rest and reconsider. And so this is the wounded healer energy. The Four of Wands in reverse. So somebody's been in a power struggle here. You've likely been in a power struggle with somebody due to receiving some poor counsel, some poor advice, maybe misguided by falsehood. Somebody's not been listening to their intuition. The High Priestess in reversed, anchored down by the Tower in reversed. And we close it off with the Three of Swords in reversed, with the Moon in reverse. So this is about confronting some fears. I do feel there's been a period of sadness and isolation due to healing from a past heartbreak. And there's that Hermit energy that we talked about. So this is about going within and confronting your fears, confronting any illusions. There's definitely this energy of lacking intuition. And I do feel there is going to be an unexpected shakeup when it comes to a partnership of some sort. This could be a romantic partnership, a work partnership. It doesn't have to be love, although the Lovers does indicate love or a lack thereof. And so there is going to be a realignment when it comes to a partnership, because there is a lack of love. There's almost this energy of codependency. The Lovers in reverse is basically the Devil card upright. So there's something here unhealthy. There's something here way out of whack, way out of balance. And there is going to be a realignment. And so I do feel somebody is needing to find their spiritual strength to trust, to take a leap of faith. And I know sometimes that can be hard, right? Because the universe wants us to leap first and trust that the universe will be there to catch us. And so this is about healing a core wound, and maybe this is a wound surrounding commitment. But there's been a lack of joy and stability. There's been a lack of unity. With the 9 reversed and the 4 reversed, we kind of got 13 going on here. So there is a rebirth process taking place. I also feel there's been a lot of struggle. Maybe there's been a lot of drama, a lot of chaos, a lot of conflict. And your current energy is saying it's time to rest. It's time to reconsider maybe your alliances, your allegiances, and to really figure out, is this sustainable? Because if we're not coming from a place of joy, stability is always going to elude us in our life. And so somebody here was definitely misguided. They listened to poor advice, poor counsel. They weren't listening to their intuition. Somebody needs to go within. I feel this is going to bring in a shakeup because somebody was led astray. And I do feel there's been fear of maybe confronting an ending or a past heartbreak here. Maybe there's fear of going into a period of isolation. I do feel it's time to seek those answers, to seek the truth. And that's what the Hermit does. The Hermit goes within, reconnects with their higher self. Somebody's been receiving messages from above, truthful messages. This is about speaking up, stepping into your authentic truth, right? And something needs to be released because opportunity is beckoning you. And so we can't keep gripping to these old ways. We can't keep gripping to control. And so I do feel there is going to be a moment of clarity. It is the energy of the veil being lifted. Something here was hidden. This could be a revelation. This could be a confession. This could be the truth kind of coming out in an unopportune way. And I do feel because there's been a lack of healing. And so somebody's held on to a lot of emotional trauma, I feel. Sacral energy. There's a lack of creativity. There's a lack of abundance. There's a lack of drive. There's a lack of blossoming here. And so this is the Judgment card, 20 in reverse. And so I do feel there's been resistance to this calling. There's been resistance to embracing these soul gifts and this period of training in your life when it comes to stepping up. I also feel somebody has to face maybe a bad judgment call when it comes to a partnership that's no longer aligned, and there's been a lack of trust. And so really, almost all of these cards are in reversed except for the Strength card. And so it's going to take a lot of strength to release a situation that is no longer bringing you contentment, that basically is not giving you what it is that you're putting into it with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. There's a lack of equal giving and receiving here. And so I kind of see somebody going their own way with the 9 of Pentacles, and that's where the rewards will come when you step into this dedicated effort of closing out a cycle. And so let's clarify the Lovers in reverse because there is a lack of love here. Well, we get the Ace of Pentacles in reversed, the 3 of Pentacles in reversed, and then we get the 4 of Pentacles upright. And so this is about opening up to love. There is there's a recognition of a poor investment here. And so I do feel there's a bond that is going into separation. There's a lack of effort being put in here. There's brokenness in here. And so, you know, when things break and we try to put them back together, sometimes they don't go back together. And so how can you open up to a new cycle? There is a need to release something here that is no longer working in order to find that balance. And so I do feel there is this energy of heartbreak. There is this energy of heartbreak. I do feel somebody is unwilling to open up here. Somebody is unwilling to take the lead of this situation. And so there's been a lack of forward motion with the 3 of Wands in reversed. And so this is going to feel like the rug being pulled out from under you. And so I do feel somebody's lacked the foresight when it comes to this ending. So let's clarify the Tower in reversed. This is unavoidable change. There's going to be a conflict. It's going to be triggering. It's going to bring anger to the surface. And this is where we release something, right, Gemini? And so I think you put a lot of dedicated effort into a foundation when it comes to a relationship of some sort. And you are being asked to release this because you're not your most authentic self in this connection. It's kind of time to go towards healing. And so what I notice is there is a lot of major arcana here. And so the universe is kind of taken over here, Gemini. And so you're going through a major life transition, a rebirth. This is about stepping into your unique energy, your unique multifaceted nature, and letting yourself be seen. And so I do feel you're breaking the chains from perhaps a trauma bond of some sort, and you're no longer going to invest in a situation. This could even mean a job loss because this was not your wish fulfillment. No, maybe at one point in time you thought it was. This is not your dreams coming true. And there's been resistance to moving on from a situation that I feel has left you feeling lacking. You're emotionally discontent. I do feel maybe you want to go back to something that you walked away from as well. Maybe you walked away from wish fulfillment in the past and now you're trying to find that balance. Maybe there was a huge missed opportunity because somebody was all up in their ego trying to micromanage a situation. And maybe after a period of rest and reconsideration, you might be going back to something. It could go either way. But there's been a clinging to something. I do feel somebody here has left some footprints on your heart. And there's been a lack of taking action with the solar plexus in reverse. So you might be going through a solar plexus recalibration in the month of June. This is about harnessing your spiritual strength, your true spiritual strength. And maybe somebody is trying to figure out how to go back to something that they walked away from in order to create some balance here. So let's take a look at these fears that are being confronted. These are fears with the moon reversed, fears of maybe communication with the 8 of Wands. Somebody fears communicating maybe with somebody that they hurt. Maybe somebody hurt you and there's going to be some communication coming in after a period of isolation. The 5 of Pentacles speaks of abandonment wounds, ghosting. And yeah, there's a lot of heart energy. And so I kind of feel maybe somebody got swept up in a lustful connection and they didn't choose what was true for them on their heart. They didn't listen. They didn't listen to their heart. And I do feel there's been, you know, not wanting to look at this. I don't want to look at this because maybe it's going to hurt to go into the heart energy to heal this. And so I do feel if you've been struggling and facing challenging times in a battle, it's because you need to take action. There is something here that you need to detach from and change your focus from. And so this is about going into the heart. And so I do feel some heart healing in the month of June for you, Gemini, but you're going to have to confront your fears. You're going to have to confront an illusion and you're going to have to step it up a notch. And so what are we reconsidering here? What are we reconsidering in the month of June for Gemini? Well, the Devil. Somebody's been trapped in an unhealthy situation. And that is a reflection of the Lovers in reversed. And then we get the Empress in reversed and we get the Hermit. And so the Empress in reversed lacks love, lacks nurturing. This could be somebody that sleeps around because she doesn't know her worth and her value. We could have somebody that went towards temptation and went towards an Empress wannabe. And they've really been going within trying to seek the truth. But I feel somebody's had their heart caged. They've not wanted to go into the depths of the pain of maybe not valuing a life partner in the past. The Empress is a life partner. She is the ultimate nurturer. She is abundant, upright. She's the mother. She's the doctor. She's the nurse. She does it all, right? Anything the Empress touches, she grows. She nurtures everything. She treats everything as her sacred baby. And so I do feel you could be dealing with a Capricorn, a Taurus, Libra, or a Virgo, or a Leo. But you need to trust. I do feel a reconsideration of a connection here for sure. Maybe you're dealing with an Empress reversed, or maybe this is you that doesn't know your worth and your value. And so this is about clearing trauma bonds is what I'm feeling. And so there is something that needs to be released. Absolutely. I do feel somebody has a lot of regrets when it comes to a missed opportunity with perhaps somebody that could have been a potential life partner. And I do feel there's a lot of emotions boiling to the surface because there is going to be some truth revealed about a missed opportunity. This is about releasing stuckness, stagnation. Somebody's been oppressed and feeling repressed and depressed. And it's time to peel back the layers, to look at this situation from a higher perspective, Gemini. So let's get you one last message with the Crystal Stone deck. And we'll see what else you need to be aware of for the month of June, Gemini. What else does Gemini need to be aware of? Well, we get Chrysocolla. And so, yeah, this is about nurturing your own heart. I do feel maybe you've been caught up in an entanglement of some sort that has perpetuated a fear cycle. I do feel complexity of fears are coming up, and maybe you're struggling finding the right words. There could be communication issues here as well. And so if you've been dealing with somebody who belittles you and makes you feel small, this is likely triggering an extra layer of vulnerability in the energies in the month of June. And so how can you hold your heart? I do feel a higher heart activation. And so this will allow you to open up the channels with spirit and to maybe clear up any communication issues from the past. But I do feel a remembrance of some soul gifts, a remembrance of your calling, and maybe it's time to step up and be a grown-up Gemini. I want to say you totally got this. You totally got this, honey calcite. And so that's linked to the sacral. And so it's kind of time to step into getting the job done. Maybe you've been banging your head up against the wall repeatedly, going through many cycles of a relationship, and this has created a lot of blocks and barriers to abundance. I do feel financial struggles here. And so how can you find your spiritual strength to power through these challenges? Because I do feel you've been waiting. And tomorrow might not ever come, Gemini. And so it's time to be triumphant. I do feel you're going to get on the other side of whatever is standing in your way of this calling. But it's time to kind of break through these limitations. And there's that diamond. And so I do feel a pressurized month. And, you know, diamonds don't get all shiny without going through the hardest transformation. This could also be maybe somebody regrets not offering a commitment. This could be somebody coming back with an engagement ring after they ice out these chains with something toxic. I think somebody's thinking about bringing forward some bling bling after they get rid of this spiritual cloud surrounding them. So I do think somebody's coming in making their intentions perfectly clear after a period of going through the darkness. And so I do feel somebody is coming forward absolutely with an offer. And maybe you've manifested this offer, but I do feel somebody has a big dream, and maybe that big dream is you, Gemini. But this is all about setting those intentions. And I do think it's really time to get your grind on and get started with your purpose, to get started with your calling, and to walk through this doorway that is being presented, because it's time to start creating the tomorrow of your dreams. And that does start in the now moment, Gemini. And that's kind of what I got for you. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below, Gemini. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.